Hi, hello everyone. This is PRUDHVI. Today I'm going to discuss about JSON. What is JSON and why it is popular, and, and what is a JSON object, and some examples, and how it is used in a JSON public source. First, what is JSON? JSON is a standalone JavaScript object, and it's a replaced XML as object representation by choice due to its simplicity. A JSON notation is, however, not only readable by JavaScript, but most languages today have some kind of JSON library for parsing JSON. However, the fact that JSON, unlike XML, is easily parsable by example JavaScript makes it very smooth and easy to use. And due to the simplicity of presence, the parsing of JSON is easier to implement and therefore less prone to errors than XML implementation. The importance of JSON is simply due to its popularity, and it's no more important than any other way of structuring text. However, it's a quite practical and have found its way far outside JavaScript. And why the JSON object? JavaScript object notation, it's a schemeless text-based representation of structured data that is based on key value pairs and ordered list. Although JSON is delivered from JavaScript, it is supported either natively or through libraries in most major programming languages. JSON is commonly, but not exclusively, used to exchange information between web clients and web servers. Over the last 15 years, JSON has become ubiquitous on the web. Today, it is the format of choice for almost every publicly available web services, and it's frequently used for private web services as well. This is the example of the JSON. It's like we generally need to either transfer and store useful information from a form of strings. These strings may sometimes contain many small pieces of information. To separate them, we use various techniques. For example, if I want to separate products info in string, it would be something like this. Like a name and Moto G2, like price and processors, like this. Here, semicolon used to separate the product spaces, and semicolon hash is used to separate the products. Parsing these texts is not much difficult, but its readability is poor and become the worst if there are thousands of products. Now I will show you how JSON stores this info like this. Block one like name. This is the example. And clearly it is a visible that information is easily to understandable and readable. Not just that, it is parsed at greater speed than custom string I showed earlier or even XML. Moreover, JSON parsing include a function stringify function that converts JSON object into string so that it can be easily stored. The limitations of JSON. Although JSON is a relatively concise, flexible data format that can easily to work with this in many programming languages, there are some drawbacks with the format. Here are the some main limitations. Like no scheme, no schema on the other hand. That means you have totally flexible to represent the data in any way you want. In on the other, it means you could accidentally create a mishapen data very easily. Only one number time. It's IEEE 754 double precious floating point format. That quite a mouthful. It simply means that you cannot take advantage of the diverse and nonsense number types available in many program languages. It's no data type. This omission means developers must resort to using string representation of dates, leading to formatting discrepancies. Must represent dates in the format of milliseconds since the approach. Verbosity means if while JSON is less verbose than XML, it is in the most conscious data interchange format. For high volume or special purpose services, you will want to use more efficient data formats. And this is the when you can use the JSON. If you write software data communicates with a browser or native mobile applications, you should use JSON as the data format. Using a format like XML is the out of date choice and a red flag in front end and mobile talent you'll otherwise like to attract. In case of server to server communication, you might be better off using the serialized framework like Apache Acrobat, Apache 3. If you're using no SQL database, you are pretty much stuck with whichever the database gives you. In relation database that supports JSON as a type, a good rule of thumb is to use a little possible. Relation database have been turned for structured data that fits a particular schema, while most now support more flexible data in the form of JSON. You can expect a performance it when query for properties with those JSON objects. Mm, this is the example of a big data source that can use in JSON. Like it's public can easily uh, access to these public data, like data sets in the JSON format. This is the site. You can check it for that. This is the some reference we have. Thank you, everyone.